Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the World Geography, Weather and Climate Part 3rd. In today's session, we are going to discuss this topic and will learn more things about the weather and climate. Before we start, the images, text and other materials used in our presentations are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the same. So first we have this diagram with us in which the climate classification is shown. Let's see that what we can learn from this diagram. So climate tropical monsoon. So this is one of the point of the classification of climate. Landmass is heated in summer in northern hemisphere. Low pressure develops in Central Asia and high pressure in seas, which warms up much slower, remain comparatively at high pressure and high pressure in the southern hemisphere in Australia, leading to seasonal reversal of winds. Temperature range from 30 to 45 degrees Celsius in summer and 15 to 30 degrees Celsius in winter. Annual mean rainfall ranges from 200 to 250 centimeter. So this is what we are talking about is the climate tropical monsoon region that you can see is being depicted in between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this is the area where we can experience a amount of rainfall that is equivalent to 200 to 250 centimeter of annual rainfall, and that is because the average temperature on in this region, as you can see, in summer it is somewhere around 30 to 45 degrees Celsius, and in winter it is somewhere around 15 to 30 degrees Celsius, which means high temperature it results in evaporation, and evaporation leads to condensation and formation of clouds, and the formation of clouds, after that the precipitation will take place. That is why this region has the highest biodiversity in the whole world also. Tropical monsoon, cool dry October to February, hot dry climate May March to June, rainy June to September, and retreating monsoon after mid-September. So this is the type of a climate that we can see annually in India also, that October to February is a cool and dry season, then March to June is the season of hot dry climate, then rainy season comes from June and end in September, and retreating monsoon starts after the mid-September. So this is the type of monsoon phenomena that occurs in India all over the year. Now climate tropical marine. So on the east coast of tropical lands, it receives evenly distributed rain from trade winds all time. It has maximum of summer without any distinct dry period. Favorable for habitation occurs severe tropical cyclone, hurricanes or typhoons. So as we know that trade winds in the northern hemisphere and in southern hemisphere, they move towards the eastern side, and that means when they will strike to the eastern coast of any continent or any island, so the rainfall will occur on the eastern side firstly. So that is why this particular area receives evenly distributed rain because of the trade winds. Vegetation: tropical monsoon forest, drought deciduous forest, dry deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forest, broad-leaved, with a decrease in rainfall in summer. The forests thin out into thorny scrubland or savanna with scattered trees and tall grass. So these are the different type of vegetations that happens in this region. Then tropical marine, the vegetation includes deciduous trees and durable hardwoods like teak, sal, acacia, varieties of eucalyptus and bamboo. Now let's talk about the location where we can see them. So monsoon is found majorly in India, Burma, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, South China and North Australia. So these are the regions which are getting largely impacted because of the monsoon. Then maritime, the Central America, West Indies, Northeastern Australia, Philippines, Eastern Africa, Madagascar, Guinea, and East Brazil. So these are the maritime areas where this type of monsoon and this type of climate majorly occurs. Now you can see the hot, wet equatorial climate between 5 to 10 degrees latitude and north and south of equatorial regions. This is the region where we can find a wet equatorial climate. Now let's see a lot of facts about this type of climate. So climate and rainfall. So uniform temperature throughout the year with average of 27 degrees Celsius. No winter. That is a simple thing to understand because it is the equator region. Then heavy precipitation because after the high temperature the evaporation takes place, and because of evaporation, as I said, after condensation clouds will be formed, and after mid-noon the rainfall occurs. Convectional rainfall mostly in afternoon. Annual average is always above 150 centimeter with maximum rainfall in April and October shortly after the equinox, and least rainfall in June and December, that is solstice. Then vegetation. So variety, evergreen hardwoods like mahogany, ebony, small palm trees, climbing lianas, epiphytic or parasitic ferns, orchids and lalings, distinct layer, thick canopy, struggle for sunlight, multiple species, no pure strand, commercial exploitation is difficult, hardwood don't float on water, and hollies expensive making tropical nation net timber importers. So these are the type of vegetations that are found in this region. Then life and development. So Amazon, Indian tribes gather wild rubber. Congo, pygmies gather nuts. Malaysia, Orang Asli. Orang Asli are the indigenous people and the oldest inhabitant of peninsular Malaysia. Cane products are the main purpose that for which they work there. Factors affecting development. Climate. First is the factor that is affecting the development in this region is the climate. High heat and humidity, sunstroke, perspire and lose energy, malaria, yellow fever, bacteria and insect pests, injurious to crops, diseases, plague, jungle hinders development, lalang, tall grass and thick undergrowth, chalk crops, deterioration of tropical soil, difficult lumbering and livestock farming. So these are the different factors because of which the development are being affected in these areas. Now, Savannah or Sudan climate. So Sudan, you must have heard, is a country in Africa. Now let's see more about it. So tall grass, that is 6 to 12 feet, elephant grass, long roots are found. Short trees, broad trunks are found. Deciduous in nature, grasslands are also called as bush veld. African savanna, South American savanna, Llanos in Venezuela, and Campos in Brazil. So these are the different type of phenomena, and this is the type of a climate that is found in these areas. Climate warm year round. Average temperature is greater than 18 degrees Celsius, with hottest month being April in northern hemisphere, and October in southern hemisphere. Rain 80 to 160 centimeter, decreases with increasing distance from equator, with a wet season in northern hemisphere from May to September and October to March in the southern hemisphere, that is vice versa and according to the vertical rays of the sun. So that is all about the climate that is found in this region. Human life. So tribes Maasai, Eastern Africa, Hausa of northern Nigeria. Agriculture is barely practiced. Potential for plantation, agriculture of cotton, cane, sugar, coffee, oil palm, groundnuts, and even tropical fruits are found. Cattle rearing practiced. Characteristics. Transitional type of climate found between equatorial forest and hot deserts. Distinct dry and wet season transition. Onshore winds bring summer rains and offshore winds in winter keep the climate dry. Extreme diurnal temperature, experiencing local hot wind Harmattan. Trade wind brings rain to coastal areas, strong in summer and dry in continental interior. Trade winds are easterlies, flow from east to west. So rainfall decreases from east to west here. Now let's talk about the warm temperates. So one more point yet you can observe is that as much as we are moving away from the equator towards the higher latitudes or middle latitudes, you can see that the amount of rainfall is decreasing, and also the forests are also being found from being deciduous and evergreen to scattered and not very evergreen forests are found in these regions. Now, warm temperate natural vegetation. So climate is not extreme, 18 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. Precipitation range is from 35 to 90 centimeter. Winter rain climate. Trees with small broad leaves, no shade. Growth restricted to autumn and spring, good moisture and high temperature. Mediterranean evergreen, open woodlands, evergreen oaks. Evergreen coniferous trees, pines, firs, cedar and cypress. Mediterranean bushes, low bush in scattered, clump, laurel, lavender, rosemary and scrubs are majorly found in these regions. Now let's talk about some economic development because of this warm temperate. So Mediterranean shorelands, cradle of civilization. It is famously known as the cradle of civilization. Agriculture majorly found in this region are citrus fruit, orange, lime, lemon, citron, grapefruit, olives, wheat and barley. And that is why this region of Mediterranean region or warm temperate climate is majorly helpful in the development of alcohol in this region. Viticulture is practiced. That means the growing of grapes and other things. Then nuts, chestnut, almond, walnut, hazelnut are majorly found. Fruits, peach, apricot, pear, plum, cherry, fig are majorly found in these regions. Now let's talk about the characteristics. So regions where this type of climate is found, western area between 30 to 45 degree north and south. Shifting of wind belts occur in this region. Winter rain with onshore westerlies, cyclonic orographic rainfall, dry warm summer with offshore trades, no rain, dry air, intense heat, low relative humidity is found. Climate is transition between trade wind, hot deserts and cool temperate maritime. Hot desert and mid-latitude desert. So type of a vegetation that is found. So hot desert climate due to the effects of offshore trade winds. The major hot deserts of the world are located on the western coasts of continents between latitudes 15 degree and 30 degree north and south. They include Sahara Desert, Great Australian Desert, Arabian Desert, Iranian Desert, Thar Desert, Kalahari Desert, and Namib Deserts, Atacama and Mexican. Mid-latitude desert climate are temperate deserts mainly due to continentality, Gobi Desert or rain shadow effect, Patagonian Desert. Overall climate. Overall climate that is found here is annual precipitation of less than 25 centimeter. That is obvious if we are talking about the deserts and mid-latitude deserts. Average summer temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Extremely diurnal range of temperature. So these are majorly found in these regions. And one more point that we can add into this point is that this is also the region of anticyclone. So because of the formation of anticyclone up in the atmosphere, these regions are also found dry and desert. Scrubs and herbs. So dormant vegetation, xerophytic or drought-resistant scrubs. Cactus, thorns, trees are rare, and date palms. Leaves are waxy and leathery. Needle-shaped, reduced transpiration is found. Salinity of soil. So salt accumulates hard pans and deficient in humus. Humus means the organic matter. That means the bodies of living animals, plants, and all that, that is also deficient because of no presence of vegetation or absence of vegetation in large amount. Do remember that all these plants that are found in these regions, that are cactus and other plants, are called xerophytic, and it has been asked so many times in exams. Now, life of a human. So major tribes practicing nomadic herdsmen include Bedouin of Arab, Tuaregs of Sahara, Gobi Mongols. Nomadic hunter. Gatherers tribes include Bushmen of Kalahari and Bindibu of Australia. Bindibu of Australia. The settled cultivators cultivate date, maize, barley, wheat, cotton, cane sugar, fruits and vegetables. Mining settlers are observed. Now let's talk some more about the characteristics that are found in these deserted areas. So cause of aridity, offshore trade winds, trade wind deserts, and located in interior region, a clear cloudless sky, intense insolation, dry air, and a rapid rate of evaporation. Now, warm, temperate, continental, steppe climate. So this type of climate is majorly found in Central Asia and European region, and let's talk more about it. So continental interiors, temperate extreme, summers are warm, winters are cold. The average rainfall is from 25 centimeter to 75 centimeter. Due to convection and westerlies, depression occasionally brings about and 2.5 centimeter of precipitation in the form of snow as well. Mildura, fringe of mallee, scrub of Great Australian Desert. Local winds that are found majorly in these regions. Chinook, that is the snow eater, and it is a famous wind of USA and Canada, and it is also termed as hot wind. Melt snow covered areas around Rockies. So do remember they are found, this wind Chinook is found majorly in the Rockies, that is a mountain range in USA and Canada, and USA majorly. And if we talk about it to be called as a snow eater, it is also called as the good for shepherd wind. Now, Fawn is a type of a local wind that is found in Switzerland. Economical development. So prairies, granaries of world wheat and maize. In the prairies, the Argentinian pampas, the Ukrainian steppes, and the downs of Australia, agriculture is completely mechanized and has extensive ranching. Ranching region of world where tough grass is replaced by more nutritious lichen or alfalfa grass for cattle and sheep rearing. Pastoral farming and dairy products. So these are the important aspects that are fulfilled in these regions. And as I was saying, so this is also, remember that this type of climate, that is the steppe climate, is also famously known as the granaries of the world. Leading world in export of beef, meat processing factories in coastal ports are also found. Australia and New Zealand, so world's leading wool exporter, that is 1/3 of total production. Now let's talk about the characteristics also. So border desert and lie in interior of continents, temperate grasslands lie in westerly belt. Away from maritime influence and are treeless. South hemisphere, moderate climate. North hemisphere, extensive and continental type of climate is found. Now let's talk about the type of a vegetation that is found. So scanty vegetation, grass is tall, fresh and nutritious. Greatest difference from the tropical savanna is that steppes are practically treeless and the grasses are much shorter. Locations. Steppes are found basically Eurasia and Black Sea to Altai are the regions. Altai mountains are majorly found in these regions. Then prairies, the North America, Rockies and Great Lakes. Pampas, that is Argentina and Uruguay. South Africa between Drakensberg and Kalahari, Bushveld in north and Highveld in south. Downs in Australia, that is the Murray-Darling Basin, and Canterbury in New Zealand. Pustes in Hungary. Now, another one is the warm temperate western margin climate. That is the British. So, moderately warm summers and fairly mild winters. Mean annual temperature is 15 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 5 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius. Warming effect of warm North Atlantic drift and southwesterlies. Weather conditions can vary so much from day to day as well as from season to season. That is, it's sometimes said that the British Isles have no climate, only weather. So you must have seen this thing also in the cricket matches that happens in England and Wales in the month of June or July, that you can see that even the cricketers from India, they are wearing sweaters in this particular area. Why? Because of the low temperature that is found in this region, and another thing because of which this is said that the British Isles have no climate but only weather. Precipitation, rainfall throughout the year. Western margins have highest rainfall as rain-bearing winds come from the west. Thereby, western slopes of southern Alps have more rainfall compared to Canterbury Plains range shadow area. There is a tendency towards an autumn or winter maximum of rainfall. Now, let's talk about the economic development that is found in this region. So Northwest Europe, little surplus for export and a net importer of food crop, mainly wheat. Fishing, Britain, Norway and British Columbia. Netherlands, horticulture and dairy industry, Britain and Denmark. Australia, high-speed boats ply across Bass Strait and Tasmania, named as Garden State. Mixed farming, commercial lumbering. Lumbering is basically the type of process in which the farming is being done in these areas. Paper and pulp industry, and lumbering or lumberjack majorly deals with the cutting down of trees and transforming into paper works. So that is why the paper industries are majorly developed in these areas. Manufacturing industry, automobile, textile. Very less agriculture is found. Market gardening is found. Sheep and cattle rearing is also found. Beet sugar cultivation is found. And both arable farming, potato, wheat, barley, beet, sugar, cash crop and fodder crop, etc. And pastoral farming, pigs, poultry, sheep rearing. Climate is more very favorable for maximum human output. So these are the different type of farmings and economical development that are found in this type of climate. Now, type of natural vegetation that is found. So deciduous forests are found, shed leaves in winters to protect against the snow and frost. Valuable temperate hardwood, oak, elm, birch, beech, poplar, willows, alder, aspen. Other species elsewhere, chestnut, maple, lime, eucalyptus and conifers are found. Now let's talk about the characteristics that are found in this type of climate. Under permanent influence of westerlies, frontal cyclonic activity, oceanic influence, also called Northwest European maritime climate. North America, Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand, Tasmania, and Chile are the major regions where you can find a similar type of climate. The warm temperate eastern margin, China climate. So if you go to China and you will go to the eastwards of China on the eastern margin, then you can find this type of climate there. So warm, moist summer and cool dry winters with a strong maritime influence with mean monthly temperature varies between 4 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. Uniform rainfall throughout the year, except central China with distinct dry season due to convection, orographic and occasional depressions. So convection is a simple thing and orographic is the type of a rainfall that is affected because of the height of the mountain. And this is why the central region of the China have distinct dry season. Now rain by conventional source or orographic rain in summer and by depressions in prolonged showers in winter. Rainfall is from 60 cm to 150 cm and fairly uniform distribution of rainfall throughout the year. In summer, the regions are under the influence of moist maritime airflow from the subtropical anticyclonic cells. Local storms, typhoon, tropical cyclones, and hurricanes are majorly occur in this type of climatic region. That is why you can see that suddenly cyclones occur in the South China Sea as well. Now, which type of natural vegetation is found in this climate? So, eastern margins have more rainfall. Timber species with broad-leaved and deciduous forest at lowland and conifers at highlands. Palm trees, chestnut, ironwood, blackwood, and wattle trees. Eucalyptus, walnut, oak, pines used most productive and intensively tilled parts of earth. So these are the type of the vegetations that are found. Now let's talk about the characteristics. So modified monsoonal climate, temperate monsoon or China type, also known as the Gulf climate in China and Japan. So if sometimes in your exam they will ask you about the Gulf climate in China and Japan and temperate monsoon or China type climate, then these are the characteristics that you can try to explain them. Natal type climate in southeastern USA bordering the Gulf of Mexico, where continental heating in summer induces an inflow of air from the cooler Atlantic Ocean. Natal type climate in New South Wales, Australia, Natal, South Africa, Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay Basin, South America. Natal type is different from temperate monsoon or China type as it receives rainfall from onshore trade winds all the year round. Now, these are different three types of regions that are found. China type, Central and North China, including South Japan, continental in nature. Intense heat in interiors of Asia, Tibet and desert regions create low pressure in summer and bring southeast monsoon causing moderate rain. Winter pressure gradient between cold Mongolia, Siberia and warm Pacific. There is outflow of air as northwest monsoon cool and dry. Occurrence of typhoons, intense tropical cyclone in Pacific Ocean and move westward bordering South China Sea during July to September. Another one is the Gulf type. So southeastern USA similar to China type with less monsooner characteristics. No complete seasonal reversal of wind as pressure gradient between America and Atlantic is less marked. So there is no any type of seasonal reversal is found as majorly the Reversal also goes from China towards the other parts of the world. Narrow range of temperature, thunderstorms in summer and hurricanes in September and October. Now, Natal type, it includes Natal, Eastern Australia, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, and northern Argentina. All warm temperate eastern climate in southern hemisphere. No monsoonal characteristics, narrowness of continent and dominance of maritime influence. Southeast trade wind bring even distribution of rainfall. Depression along southern edges lead to autumn or winter maximum, wettest month from March to July. Small annual temperature range. Violent local storms, southerly Buster, cold wind along coast of New South Wales, Pampero, cold wind along Argentina and Uruguay, Berg, hot dry wind in eastern Africa, comparable to Fawn or Chinook bring unpleasant high temperature and oppressive weather. Now let's talk about the economical development. So most productive and intensively tilled parts of the earth. World's greatest rice growing areas, warm, wet and lowland favors rice cultivation. Agriculture in the Gulf, USA, export crops, rice in Mississippi Delta, corn, half of world's corn production, used to fatten animals, or maize, cotton, sugarcane, market gardening. Gulf tobacco in native crop. Cropping, pastoral in southern hemisphere, cane, sugar, cotton, tobacco, maize, produced from cattle and sheep, famous for dry dairy products. Now, cool temperate eastern margin, Laurentian. So, cold dry winter temperature below freezing point. Winds are dry westerlies from continental interior. So, the temperature is quite low, and because of that, the freezing point occurs in this region. Warm, wet summers has cooling effect of offshore cold currents. Rainfall year round ranging from 75 to 150 centimeter. Now let's talk about the economical development. So lumbering, timber, paper and pulp industries, less agriculture. Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia, world's most renowned regions of apples. Fishing, major activity in this region as warm and cold current mixes. World's largest fishing ground on Grand Banks of Newfoundland. Seaweed, weed cultivation, oyster cultivation, etc. is most common specifically in Japan, with rich plankton growth on continental shelves. Upwelling of water is also found. Now let's talk about the characteristics. So intermediate between British and Siberian climate, both maritime and continental. Only in two regions. One, northeastern USA, eastern Canada or America region, and two, eastern Asia, eastern Siberia, North China, Manchuria, Korea, North Japan, Asiatic region, absent in southern hemisphere, small sections of continents, oceanic influence and climate is equable. Only exception could be eastern Patagonia westerlies don't reach, causing aridity, rain shadow, deserts. Now, which type of natural vegetation is found in Laurentian? So, cool temperate forest, coniferous trees north of latitude, fir, spruce and larch, oak, beech, maple, birch are the trees found. Trees occur in pure stands, easy commercial exploitation. Canada, greater reserve of coniferous forests. Due to extreme climatic condition, cold pole of Earth. It is said to be cold pole of Earth. The climate, which type of climate is found? So cold long winters and cool brief summers. Snowfalls are heaviest in the northern tundra and Siberian taiga. No maritime influence, frontal precipitation. Winds, blizzards of Canada and Buran of Europe. Low temperature, low evaporation and high relative humidity. Permanent snowfields are absent, as in Alps and Himalayas, due to melting in spring and summer. Frozen rivers are thawed, causing rise in water levels and floods. Now, the type of vegetation that is found in the Siberian type climate. Greatest softwood production: Russia, USA, Canada, Finland, Norway, Sweden. These are the major wood production or softwood production in the world. Taiga, Siberia, richest source of temperate softwood, occur in pure strands, good for commercial exploitation. Four main species: pine, fir, spruce, and larch. Evergreen coniferous forests are found. Uniform, straight, tall. No annual replacement of new leaves. Food is stored in trunks and bark is thick to protect trunk from cold. Conical in shape to prevent snow accumulation. So this is the type of the features that are found in the trees that are found in these regions. Leaves are small, thick, leathery and needle shaped. Now let's talk about some economical development. So many areas are untouched in Canada, Eastern Europe and Asiatic Russia. Lumbering transported to sawmills. Fur farms, paper making, matches and newsprint firms are well established. Little agriculture is found. And that's it in this session. I hope you learned a lot of things related to different type of climates and the type of vegetations and the type of characteristics that are found in these regions. I will meet you in the next session. Till then, bye bye and thank you.